All right, guys. Road to 10% body fat, real quick. So, guys, what's going on? It's your favorite coach and entrepreneur, Coach Chris, aka Road to 10% body fat. Yeah, so essentially, let me show you this smoothie, right? Very, very quickly, but check it out. Okay. So we've gone from 300 pounds down to 230. And we are just got measured in at 15.5. So we're 15.5% body fat. 15.5 at 6'3", 230. The goal is to get to 10%. Getting to 10% is a little tricky because I was 32% body fat when I was in strongman. Let's go. Did I hear smoothie? You did hear smoothie. Okay, cool. So, what do we got? Who's in the chat? That's crazy. Yeah, so I lost 80 pounds. And smoothies was a very vital role to how I stayed lean. And it's not because of what you think. It's because I don't like to eat vegetables. I hate vegetables, except for like carrots and onions, right? So I figured out how to get my micronutrients, right, in my sauces through Indian curries. Like the certain foods increase your blood flow and your vascularity, like curry, turmeric, cinnamon. I include these in my sauces for my fats. But when I make a smoothie, the smoothie's purpose, believe it or not, is to pull the excess water out of the body from starch and carbohydrate. So there's a balance ratio between sodium and potassium, and you have to nail that with your nutrition. This is why I tell you guys, if you've never actually worked with a coach and dieted down, you get to a point where getting to 10-15% is easy for some people, but I had bulked up to compete in strongman and put so much body fat on that taking my body and getting it back used to being leaner took a little time. But a frozen banana, potassium, right? Potassium, fiber, micronutrients. Same, that's what's up. Yeah, so if you take your vegetables and you blend them up, and then you put your veggies with a little bit of low-fat cream or coconut milk and new spices, you can turn your vegetables into a sauce and pour your sauce over your carb, and you can still get your micronutrients. So I take that approach. And that simple approach of adding the fiber and the cruciferous fruits and vegetables and sauces and draining the excess water, that, in addition to doing one other thing. So the road to 10% body fat also involved me taking care of my skin. Because once you start cutting calories and carbs and you start getting leaner, you'll notice that your skin may start drying. So, because remember, in order to get leaner, your body is kind of like readjusting. So I started using like lotion and Jergens on my skin, and I noticed that allows the separation to be seen better when you're cutting. Because when you're cutting, you're gonna look skinny when you wear your clothes. But as soon as you get a pump and you have a decent little tan, a natural tan, right? You're going to look better when you're training. You're going to look more vascular. And I'm going to show you the next ingredient. So we have a frozen banana, right? You've got like 40% body fat. Okay. That's very high. Hopefully you're strong. I hope if you have that much body fat, you're at least strong. If you're going to carry all that weight, hopefully you're diesel and strong. But if you're not, and it's just excess adipose tissue accumulation, then eating this type of smoothie will shred through some of that fat. If you're doing any physical movement and you eat this smoothie, it will alter how you look. I've been working on this smoothie for like 18 years, man. Okay, spinach, your best friend when you want to get leaner. Spinach. Why spinach? I am working out to get it down. Yeah, working out's gonna help, but if you've got too much body fat, what's gonna change how you look more than anything is aerobic capacity with a baseline of strength and start doing calisthenics as general purpose conditioning. So you have a regimen where you're lifting heavy, then you walk for aerobic capacity or whatever. But when you want to really get your body moving, get used to doing squats, push-ups, dips, and pull-ups, because that ability to just move your body and feel good, that aids to an aesthetic physique, right? But when you do the body weight and the conditioning and you do all that the right way, it works really good. Now, keep in mind, when you cut, you're gonna get weaker. Do not expect, so that's my smoothie. See that handful of spinach? That's my multi-mineral. That's my potassium, multi-mineral, low caloric. Every ingredient has been measured to the T. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Okay, so guys, when I say I'm gonna get down to 10% body fat, and I used to be 300 pounds, you know, I did learn a little bit, and as a certified trainer in the past in ACFL, I did train 687 people over like 8 years of group training, just for what it's worth. Anyways, now this is optional, but what I like to do, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this, right? I want you guys to understand why I measure food, right? So I have a food scale, right? And I cut it on. Anytime that I have ever hired someone to train them, back when I was a trainer in California, you know what I did? If they would not buy a food scale, I would not train them. Because I know if they don't get a food scale, hey, what's up, Jacob Brock? Welcome back to the chat. So, road to 10% body fat, Jacob Brock. So, hopefully you can join the journey. Hopefully you're entertained. And who knows, maybe together we will learn something about each other on this journey. Road to 10% body fat. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your mother, tell your sexy fox, tell your daddy, tell your cousin. Habla eso que monte, caliente, muy fuerte. Tell your hermana, or say abuela. Tell everyone, Coach Chris is going to 10% body fat. And I want all y'all to go into my chats, and I want y'all to spam every one of my videos and challenge me to respond to every one of your comments. I responded to 2,008 comments last month, okay? I challenge you to put a comment in my feed that I don't respond to and say, your favorite coach and entrepreneur, Coach Chris. I challenge you. Anyways, so everything is being documented from the recipes. I'm giving you guys what a trainer is, what you pay a professional trainer. I'm giving you the secrets in these videos. Literally, all you have to do is copy what I do, adjust the macros slightly, and you too will be on your road to 10% body fat. But if you don't care about doing that, then watch me slowly suffer to 10% body fat and enjoy your pizza. Do one of the two. But whichever one that you choose, in order for your life to be fulfilled, you gotta push that thumbs up button. Because if you don't push that thumbs up button, I'm not gonna keep making videos. Now maybe you like that. And that's actually a lie. I'm gonna make videos whether you push it up or not. So I'm pretty much saying if you push the thumbs up, it's good for me. Anyways, so you're gonna take the food scale, right? Almost done. So we take the food scale and we push it on, right? Check this out. You cut it on. You put this on here and then you taper it. I'm learning you so much stuff. Yes, that is what I do. I do believe at my root of what I am a teacher and an educator and a communicator. So, because of those things, I can't help but teach what I know. It just kind of seems to be what I do. I learn something, I teach it. I learn something, I teach it. Anyways, that's got 0. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at the back of this milk, and this is unsweetened coconut. 1 cup, right, is in milliliters. So I'm gonna change it to ounces, right? Fluid ounces, milliliters. I am going to put this in to 240, right? That is 1 cup, 55 calories. I am 235 pounds at 15% body fat. And my snacks to get to 10% body fat, I'm eating 300 to 600 calorie snacks. I know people who eat twice as much as I do, who are half my weight. And what I tell them is, you don't need as many calories as you think. You do need carbohydrates to perform, but you need to start counting the quality of your food versus the quantity if you want an aesthetic physique that's not just for performance. The quality of what you eat needs to be considered as much as the quantity. I hope that this is making sense. Now, somebody put this. This is a Stilton with blueberries. Now, this is a unit price of $21.99 a pound. What I do not want you to do is keep stuff like this in the fridge. Anytime that you have sugar and stuff like this in the fridge, you're gonna be tempted to eat it. So just don't put it in there, all right? Not everybody can control their temptations to what they eat. You kind of got to be sick in the head to willingly want to starve yourself to get lean. That's what I've noticed as I get older. Not like really, but it's not quite as easy as you think. All right. I don't think a lot of people, and I didn't realize until I saw the guys who were big and strong, I didn't realize how much work it took to actually stay lean and like actually stay there and look good. Now for this is a whey isolate. The reason there's so little calories in this is because now I'm gonna put one, and I did a long session with 2-a-days today, including cardio, break, aerobics break, upper body break, and I did a lot of circuits, right? A lot of conditioning work to get to 10% body fat with resistance training. So this smoothie, before I go to bed, you don't want to eat a big meal before bed. In order to get into REM sleep, you need to get your body at a low body temperature. If you eat a huge meal before bed and it elevates your body temperature, you are now fighting to release the melatonin, not the melatonin, the melatonin. All the big meals before bed generate heat, and then it's less likely that you can get cool enough to enter REM sleep. Does that make sense? Do you know Eric? Oh boy, it's Matt Johnson. What's up, Matt Johnson? My favorite troll. I don't know, Matt. You always ask me silly questions. This whole shelf. So, where did I put you guys? There it is. Guys, road to 10% body fat, right? Getting there, getting a little bit leaner, but we're wrapped up, man. We are hitting our macros. That is the key, because this is good nutrition. After a few hours of it's not, my body doesn't have to break down a smoothie. So it's great to have a smoothie before bed. That gives you a lot of nutrition, but your body doesn't have to work to break it down. Now you could add some more fat to it. You can do this, you can do that. You can do all sorts of stuff. You can add PB2. Let's say if you have the extra calories. I like to show this to you guys because, again, don't use this. I was given this for free. The Jiffy is hydrogenated oil, right? The hydrogenated oil is really bad for your system. Now, hydrogenated vegetable oil is made of rapeseed and soybean. Avoid putting this in your body, but if you're on a budget, I get it. If you cannot afford a higher quality peanut butter, I get it. But do not use this unless you have to. what you would want to use instead is something like this, if you're cutting calories. Now look, if you're a football player or you're trying to bulk and you're trying to power lift and do all this stuff, 1 second guys, let me cut this off. 1 second. Boom. There we go. Got that. So the PB2, see that? The PB2, 2 tablespoons, has 60 calories. But if you look at this, not only is this a subpar peanut butter, but it's got 160. So there's 130 calories more in this than this. So that's for 33 grams, 2 tablespoons, versus 13 grams. And this just goes to show you how nutrition labels make no sense. Look, this says 2 tablespoons, 33 grams is a serving. This says 2 tablespoons, 13 grams. How can 2 tablespoons be a difference of 33%? That makes no sense. And this is what I'm getting at. Don't read labels. Have an idea of what's in here, but measure how much of what you're using goes into your body. Once you start measuring, you're going to be amazed at how much bullshit and how much food you are stuffing down your throat between oils and all this calories are hidden in these foods. And if you would know this knowledge, you would be able to pretty much eat whatever you want within portion between protein, fats, and carbs. You would be able to, basically be able to eat the right amount of these foods and it not turn into body fat. What most people do is they starve themselves. They work all day. They skip meals. They're trying to balance a family life, and I get it. But then, what do? They binge all their food in one meal. Don't do that. I mean, you can do that, but if you binge all your food in one meal, you're gonna have a hard time holding a decent amount of muscle and being lean. But hey, if you don't want to hold a lot of muscle and you just want to do that, hey, that's fine ways to do it. And you could eat 1 meal a day if you want to, but I would still fuel before I train. Anytime you use your body physically, put fuel in it to train, right? Even if it's just a little bit of fuel will allow you to train harder. Anyways, wash these up. Cool. All right, guys, I'm looking in the chat. Yo, bro, Soren, what's up? Do you know Eric? What's up, Soren? So I'm about to head to the room, put some stuff up, and then we'll continue our chat in the room. And you guys can just kind of tell me what you're into as far as the channel is concerned, what we're doing. Like, are any of you trying to get leaner? Are you trying to bulk? Are you playing sports? Like, what do you guys like training for? And if I look like death in the face, it's simply because I'm cutting. And I'm telling you, cutting calories, and if you've never done it, and you've never measured it, and you've never tried to pull body fat off, it's a bit of a, sometimes it's just like, it's not the most fun thing to do. Put it that way. It's not the most fun thing to indulge in, but the results are fun. It's fun to like get lean and have all that. Just doing sauna, bro. Doing light weights after. I mean, that's great. A sauna will warm you up, right? Let's see. We'll put that there. Let me grab this. Let me actually get my room set up because I got some laundry to do. I need to fold these clothes. All right. Let's put this over here. Got this over here. That's good. And So here you go. Here's this. So a couple things I recommend. If you're trying to look leaner and just look your best, just for guys, just take me for what it is. Baby oil, hydration, and Jergens, right? Hydrate your skin. I'm telling you. Hydrate your skin. I'm telling you. Hydrate your skin. Get sun on your skin. Your body will look phenomenally better, even if you maintain its look, just from getting a little darker and draining a little bit of the excess water out. A lot of people actually look a lot better than they realize. They're just holding on to a lot of extra water and stuff. They've never been taught how to drain that from them, from their body. Sauna's great. Sauna's gonna fight inflammation. Sauna's gonna do a lot of good. So the sauna is a good tool. The sauna is a good tool. I like the sauna. But here, what is this? Here we go. Alrighty, we'll put that on. Oh, it's that one. I always forget about that one. Anyways. Trying to warm my body up, so we all speak in 20 minutes. Feed special. Well, keep in mind, it's kind of funny. You want to stay warm for blood flow, but when it comes to sleep, believe it or not, when it comes to your sleep, right, I find a lot of times, at least me, right, just for what it's worth, I have found, let's see, I don't know if y'all like that. By the way, guys, this is the office over here. Yay! Push this button up. My desk rises. That's kind of cool. It's got a little motor in it. What? Why did it? Oh, it readjusted. It's supposed to go automatically. Yeah. What I did was, you're supposed to push a button, and I readjusted by accident. Anyways. Good office, bro. Soren. Yeah, thanks, man. Well, I train people, and I trade stocks, and I sometimes play poker, and I research, and I like to play music and stuff. So it's kind of like my office is got all sorts of stuff, and it could be a little bit more organized. But you see, you look at this view, and it's like, there's my stationery and stuff. And then you look at this view, and it's like, I got a bunch of like books and stuff that I have over here. And a lot of people seem to really like it, like when I'm here. So, road to 10% body fat. I don't have the really good abs yet, but as you can see right through there, you see how they're slowly starting to come in on the light? Slowly. Slowly. Not bad, since I used to be 300 pounds, right? It's cool, bro. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Cool, bro. Yeah, you know, I'm pretty proud of the fact that I've actually gotten to this point. You know, a lot of people never even get to where I'm at in their fitness journey. They can't ever even get to like a subpar, you know. Yeah. So, got my books there. We're going to turn this one to this, put this here like this, and maybe, if we're lucky, this will make a homemade stand. I can put that there like this. And then we can come here. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. And for you guys, you know, I did business. I am a licensed insurance agent who really didn't. I got tired of the insurance business. If you've never been in the insurance business, just know that it's a great business, but it's a great product that people need, but the business is getting so cutthroat that sometimes I don't even enjoy it. So, you know, when you guys were on this channel, I started looking at my music, and then y'all, some of these people on YouTube just started coming in and engaging with me. I was like, screw it. I'm gonna go back to personal training and just document this on YouTube. And if it were to blow up, that would be cool. Because you gotta remember, guys, I've lost like 80, I was 300 pounds. I lost a lot of weight. 225 now, and I'm holding on to muscle because I learned a little bit more about nutrition and how to properly train to actually do so. Right. And I have always told everyone on this channel, if I ever decide to go to the dark side, because once I get to 10% body fat, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I want to keep getting leaner. I don't know if I want to go hop on the gas, right? I have access to people who are competing at the NPC. A lot of them are telling me, hey, if you were to jump on some gear, you'd be pretty crazy. Now, I don't have the best muscle mass, but I'm really wide and lean, but I really don't want to do that. I really want to see if I can look really good and lean as a natural athlete. I want to see how to maximize that. And then if my testosterone suffers for whatever reason, I've already told you guys, I would be the first to tell you if I ever jumped on some gas. Yeah, it's like I'm not getting paid to do so. This is an experiment. So yeah, there's some, like I said, I'm not going for that big look. I am trying to stay lean, right? Trying to keep the abs in. But the goal is to get to 10%. 10%, that involves strength training. That's going to involve aerobic training. That's going to involve calisthenics. It's going to involve low pace cardio, high intensity cardio, circuits, hypertrophy. I'm blending all these in to do different modalities. And I'm still eating about 3,000 calories a day. At 3,000 calories, I can maintain this. I can continue to get lean and maintain this at 3,000. I could bump it down a little bit. All right, any questions in the chat? I don't know if there's any questions in the chat, but I bet one thing is true. I bet if I cut some background music on, because we have these beautiful studio mics, and they're not even being used right now. Oh, I don't even have my, see, I got this microphone right here. I got this Artesia P88 microphone screens, and half the stuff I never even use, man. I use this sometimes, but I don't think I'm utilizing my tools very good. Anyways. There is a problem. Your device needs to restart, probably because it's out of battery power, maybe? I don't know. Put that there. Here's this. What on earth? All right. Soren. Put that there. I really don't like how bright this light gets. Sometimes I think it makes me look not so good. So, oh, my brother sent me a message. Let me check my brother's text real quick. About that. Hey, what's up, JMP? My brother sent me a message. For what it's worth, so you guys know, it's my birthday tomorrow. Yay! So for my birthday, I'm going to go have a cheat meal, eat a burger with the family, right? Oh, you see that from the side? Yeah, I'm telling you, man, all the pieces, the nutrition, the diet, I can see the body literally sucking body fat every few days. It's crazy. I'm really enjoying it. A lot of it's having to do with the nutrition, like the choices of food at certain times, the cardio, the strength training. It's all working together. JMP, welcome to the chat. I am doing well. Road to 10% body fat is going well. All right. I'm trying to do it over the next 3 to 6 months, maybe. All right. I'm not exactly where I want to be, but we are making strides slowly but surely. Not the best lighting, but what I'm saying is I can see myself getting the 10% fat during this challenge. Totally doable. Totally doable to get to 10% body fat. All right. This is kind of where we're at right now. 10%, I'm at 15.5 right now, right? 15.5% at 6'3", right? So you can see how it's getting a little bit better. You see how the lines and stuff, but this is where my specialty lies, right? You see how now I can do this? You see how now this is coming in and I'm wide? My biggest thing is just keeping my shoulders wide, right? Happy birthday, thank you. And this is what I'm getting at when I train. I train for a specific look. Now, am I the biggest? No, I'm not trying to be the biggest. I'm training for aesthetics and to stay lean, right? So you see how, for me, the shirt is wide and it's the taper, right? That old school, decent arms, chest, wide shoulders, legs, a leaner aesthetic physique looks really, really good. A leaner aesthetic physique is usually going to look better than a bigger, bulkier physique. Now, if you're an athlete and you're training to be bulky because your sport requires it, do not do my program. Do not do that. Now, I have trained in the past as an athlete, and I was 300 pounds at one point. I know how to put on size. But as I get close to 40 years old, I decided that staying lean and longevity, that's kind of where I want to be in my fitness journey. And so much of this fitness journey has come down to just slowly chipping away at concepts of knowledge, nutrition, and yeah. So let's go into chat. JMP, how was your day? Thank you for the wishes. What did you do today, JMP? Thank you, Mr. Soren. Two scoops of whey isolate, blueberry, spinach, frozen banana. Very, very low calorie, but extremely satisfying because I used a PB2. Remember, road to 10% body fat is about staying in a calorie deficit, daily zone 2 cardio, all right? And then do not skip out on lifting weights. You still need to lift weights. You may not lift weights like a power lifter or a strongman, but the weightlifting, the calisthenics, the cardio, the food, the sleep, the recovery, all of that puts in. My day was all right. Just work and been chilling. What do you do again if you want to open up in the chat? When you guys come into this chat, I know a lot of you are shy. I know a lot of you sometimes are like, oh my God, so many streamers say all this stuff. Look, ask any one of my moderators if you come into my chat. I'm going to do my best to be nice. Sometimes I get in my moods and I'm just like, y'all go away. But most of the times I'm in a pretty chill mood. And if you need some engagement or someone that's generally curious about other people in the world, come into my chat and I'll give you that engagement. Thanks, Chess Devil. Yeah, another birthday. We're coming, man. It's crazy, man. For all you guys who are younger, it goes by fast. It goes by fast, right? Yep. Music is also another thing I like. Anyways, it's crazy when you get leaner. I feel so much smaller than what I used to. But when I'm in the gym and I start getting a little bit of a pump and, you know, it's crazy how cool you look. And I kind of like that. I'm kind of getting into that. I didn't really think I'd like it. I was like, well, that looks kind of cool. So the detail in getting lean, if you want an art project, okay? If you want an art project and you're into science and you're good at math and detail oriented, or you're engineered based, start doing an art experiment to see how much body fat you can strip off your body, maintain your strength, and manipulate your nutrition to get leaner. It's realistically, aesthetics is the art of training your body to sculpt and look a certain way. And that's kind of interesting. You know, you have a lot of people with different habits in the world. Some people build cars, some people build houses. But finding out what you eat, hey, thanks, Chestel. Finding out how what you eat and how this food affects your body, and then you start doing like more push-ups, more pull-ups, and then you start having more energy, and then people come up to you and it's like, wow, you look great. It's like, wow. Or the other day someone was like, man, are you a model? It's like, no, I'm a personal trainer that used to do insurance and then built businesses and stuff. It's crazy when you start to get lean. It's kind of cool. Just do it if you've never done it. Also, if you aren't into that, just being big and strong is cool too. Get into strongman and get into some heavy deadlifts. It's kind of cool to be big and strong. You know, just pick whichever one you want and just go for it. Pick a goal and go for it. If you don't have one, get leaner first. Because getting leaner, people may say, oh, you're looking skinny at first and this and that. Don't listen to them. Most people are just fat and out of shape, and they see you making improvements and they're trying to pull you down. So find out what your goal is. And if you don't have a goal, just go to get leaner, because in getting leaner, you're going to learn how to measure your food. You're going to learn how to train without overtraining, and you're going to learn to do cardio and weights together so you have a functional lean body physique. That is my recommendation. But train overall for your goal. At the end of the day, training for your goal. So for me, road to 10% body fat. What have I learned so far? I have personally learned that when trying to get a lean body fat percentage, how you look in a camera, how you look in the mirror, what lighting you're at, your cameras, your angles, the leanness, all these are tricks. And most times when you get leaner, you're not going to be as big as you think. Have I ever come to Asia? Yes. I lived in Japan. Duitashimashite gozaimasu. I lived in Japan for 3 years. Got this tattoo in Japan, actually. This one right here. And I have been to China. I've been to Guangzhou, the City of Flowers. It's where my ex-wife and I went on a trip one time. So we got that. Shout out to One Life Fitness they're opening up a new gym down here, and I think they're gonna want me to be part of their team. Become a fitness director. Ooh, that'd be cool. Fitness directors at gym. Shout out to Fitness Inferno, the best gym in the Macon area. If you're serious, go to Fitness Inferno. If you want a serious local gym that has a good owner, his name's Rob. If you're on YouTube and you go to that gym and you see the owner there, Rob, tell him Coach Chris sent you, and you'll make him laugh. He'll be like, what, they got from YouTube? Yeah. Rob's had that gym for a long time. He's done a good job. I got to give him credit. I gave him a little bit of shit when I first met him, and the more I get to know him, the more I hear his story. He's the real deal. He's competed, had a gym, lived it, done the business. Oh, it's all good. Yeah. So, all that good stuff. Maybe he'll find a protege. Haha. He does want to sell his gym one day. Anyways. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Anybody in the chat? I'm probably just doing laundry over here. You're probably bored. You're probably like, what are y'all talking about? All right. Let's see if I can get you guys, because I can't really see the chat at this angle. All right, guys. The goal is to get 30 to 45 minutes chats from time to time. We have had 56,000, I think it was like 56,000 views in the last 2 days. So any of you guys who keep coming to these streams, I know we don't ever get like hundreds and hundreds of people like in these other streams. However, we are getting views. I'm putting out silly videos online, funneling people. We're doing music therapy. We're getting into health and wellness. We're tracking all of this. I need you guys, if you want to continue to grow this, just start sharing with people. Say, hey, I found this guy who's on the road to 10% body fat. He's a Navy veteran. Just be like, hey, we should support him. And tell everybody you know. Yeah, and I've done told any of you guys, right? And so you see how right through here, it's not a great bicep, but do you see how the difference between that, like just right through here, right? Just that little bit of lines and separation, just that little bit right through there. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's not like the best or anything, but man, just that little bit of separation in line. As you get leaner, you can see like at 300 pounds, my arm was a lot bigger. But the detail I'm getting when I'm leaning down at 15-ish% to 10%, it's absolutely crazy, the detail. And even though I'm smaller, people have told me that I look bigger in the gym being leaner. 20 pounds lighter. Well, 80 pounds lighter total from years ago, from a couple years ago. But 20 pounds, well, let's say 15 pounds lost. However, people think I look bigger because I'm leaner. It's crazy. The leaner you are, when you have a shirt on, yeah, you may not look the part, but as soon as you go to the beach or put on a tank top or get in the right lighting or go into a restaurant and that lighting hits you, you're going to have details on your body that are going to separate you from other people. And a lot of people like that. I think it's cool. So we have these. Oh. As you can see how much laundry I go through. This is how much laundry. Would you take a visit? You can see how much laundry, guys. You see how much laundry I've been going through with my 2-a-day training? It's like a week's worth of laundry, man. Crazy. Like morning session, evening session, home session, training clients, moving around, walking, dieting, caloric deficit, all working together. Every detail, every piece, it's coming together. All right, so now. Anybody in the chat? Let me see. Welcome in, welcome in. Would love to take a visit. Road to 10% body fat. Road to 10% body fat. I'm gonna put some background music on. I don't have my audio interface plugged in. If I did, I would be probably using that more. All right. Guys. Interesting. Anyways. All right. Joined live. We made a smoothie. Now we're into chat. Hey guys. I am looking in the chat. By the way, guys, I'm looking at this school community. Do any of you guys have any experience using the school community? Like of the SKOOL? Because I have really considered like funneling all the traffic that comes to my lives and my YouTubes. Because I actually get, you know, hey gays. Hey guys. Hey guys, it's your favorite coach and entrepreneur, and you know who it is, Coach Chris. It's your favorite coach and entrepreneur, Coach Chris. I say that so much online. What's going on, guys? It's your favorite coach and entrepreneur, Coach Chris. What's going on, guys? It's your favorite coach and entrepreneur, Coach Kids. What's going on, guys? It's your favorite coach and entrepreneur, Road to 10% Body Fat. Anyways, guys, sometimes we do music theory, sometimes I play piano, sometimes we talk about books, sometimes we talk about philosophy. We talk about all sorts of stuff on this channel. Got some books over here. This is my bookshelf. I feel like this is probably the best angle, because if I put my camera up like this, a lot of people will be like, damn, are you homeless, bro? Because I got like these signs I made. But I made each of these signs. So each of these signs I made. I have a do not disturb me, text me if urgency sign, my insurance. There's my license. This is my favorite saying, nobody cares, work harder. And I have some Lao Tzu quotes. One of my favorites is, if you like a flower, you pick it. If you love a flower, you water it. And the reason that's one of my favorite quotes is, sometimes humans can be so self-destructive. Am I going to play piano? Tonight, not tonight. Maybe I'll play some in the morning. I'll have some family over in the morning, and they'll be up with some friends. So if it's not too loud, maybe I'll play in the morning. So, but I want to stress this, right, guys? And this is like, we'll get into something that's kind of a little bit more probably worth your time as far as value. This is something that actually means a lot to me, right? This quote, right? This is kind of like The Office, right? That's my bed. That's my flag. Some books. That's the computer. I was in the Navy for 10 years, for those just coming in. There we go. I was in the Navy for a while. That's a pure silver cup with water in it, right? Those are letters from all the kids, from hundreds of letters when I was in Afghanistan. Anyways, I'm telling you that because my background. I want you to read this quote with me, right? This quote is from Lao Tzu, one of my favorite philosophers. That's a great question. Why is your username 1776? It's not. It's Founding Fathers 1776. The username on my channel, America 1776 and Founding Fathers 1776, I originally did that because I did videos on YouTube for a while, and I did videos for like 10 years and barely had a single few hundred subscribers. I didn't know anything about editing. I'm still a shitty editor. But Charlie Kirk came on the scene. Shout out to Charlie Kirk 1776. And I thought that what he was doing was pretty cool. So as a veteran, I just figured, you know what? The country's good, right? The best that it can be. I thought it kind of represented good things. Being strong, loving your country, pursuing hard things, dedication, music theory, self-development, all those things wrapped around the core principles of why the Founding Fathers created the United States, to fight tyranny. Thus, that's kind of why. Now, I have considered changing the name of my channel, and if we continue to grow, and I do like Chris Core Fit or something like confidence conditioning, self-development, I may do that in the future. But I'm telling you, yeah, RIP Charlie Kirk. So me using Founding Fathers 1776 and no one had that tag, I thought it sounded good. Charlie was still alive when I had that. And I also thought the crowd of people that appreciated Charlie Kirk, and you gotta remember, I'm not very religious. I'm not very religious. I'm probably one of the worst people, because I, like, that you guys see, it's like, I'm not very religious. I don't really like a lot of established religion. However, I see the value of the Christian faith in the United States as a base stone for our moral and ethical compass. So because of that, I don't want that to go away. However, myself, I am strictly, I don't really like any form of religion made by man. I think it's kind of a way to control people or have a community, hopefully. But if a church is ran right and the community's good and they're giving back, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a community of people coming together. So instead of a bunch of people playing basketball, they're coming together to go to church. It's a community. I enjoy the online community because I can put a camera up and I can talk to you guys from all over the world. And I can get people from 9 different countries in 1 hour to come into a room and discuss things. That is so cool to me. I don't see how other people don't think that's cool. Most people are using the internet to do a lot of selfish things, and they're not using it for what I think the internet should be used for, which is a medium of communication to keep light and good in the world, right? That's what I believe. That is what I believe. Let's see. All right. Shout out to the haters. Guys, if you're one of my moderators, feel free. You can do whatever you want in the messages. I don't really care if haters want to come in and type messages or just do that, just so you guys know. Well, sure, but talking to someone in person is the same thing. You're just 2 particles in a field doing the same thing. Yeah, now, I still do a lot of stuff in person, but what you can accomplish online and reach the amount of people, there's no way you can scale in person what you can scale with a piece of technology. You cannot do it. Now, you can... And shout out to all the haters, shout out to all the jokesters. It is through the comments that it gets the algorithm. But as you can see, we still have JMP number 2 cameras on. But whatever you're going to do, use social media as a medium to expand and scale. Word of mouth is great, but word of mouth doesn't scale fast. It takes a lifetime of word of mouth to do what can be accomplished. Now, you can argue that being face-to-face is more effective in some ways, but it all depends on the individual and the clientele. It all depends on the clientele, man. Depends on who you're training, what your demographic is, and all that stuff. All of these. Gotta get so many clothes for free, guys. I gotta go, like, donate some of these clothes, dude. So many of these people give me so many clothes for free. So blessed. So blessed. Shout out, guys. But it's crazy, man. Another year, another birthday coming up. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Sometimes I wonder if you guys come on my YouTube just to try to steal and spam my personal information. But then people like JMP and these other guys continue to come back. Cameron Porter used to come a little bit more, and then we had some other people who came and gone. But at the end of the day, guys, if you see someone that's in blue that I've made a moderator on this channel, I have more than likely screened them. What on earth is this? These are not mine. Oh, that's hers. Ha ha. She has a little bitty waist. Anyways. Next. What you guys got? Respect haters for seeking notification of content every time and increasing the reach of the channel. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like Matt Jackson is funny because he comes in and he always tells jokes. And sometimes they're funny. Sometimes he catches me in a mood and he'll get me to laugh. But the fact that he continues to come back and type, I respect the fact that he comes back and types in the chat. Because that's better than some people do. And no matter which way you slice it, that's going to affect the algorithm. So I used to have moderators, and they would, like, anytime someone said anything bad, they would be like, kick them out, kick them out. And I'm like, no. You won't though. If someone has a lot to say, I want them to chat everything they have to say in the chat. I want hundreds and hundreds of chats. Now, I don't want them to be like all spammy, like free Hamas, free this, Gaza, Palestine, like all these things. Like that I try to avoid. But even that, I'll let that go for a while just for the sake of the chat, man. The more people that I can reach, the stronger this channel will be. And then I've done told you, if we ever grew big enough, I would do an in-life event and invite all of y'all there. An in-life event. Do a meeting. And it would probably be an event that would cost a little bit of money, maybe. But if there was enough money being made on this YouTube channel because it became monetized, and there were people that followed me, and I had unlimited funds from like a monetization, I would probably pay for original people to go, and then the newer people, maybe they have to pay a premium. But the people who stick with this channel, I'm going to continue to make content, right? I need to edit better, and there's a lot of things I need to do, but moving forward, I'm really going to be focusing on the health and wellness. I love to play music, but the health and wellness aspect and getting leaner, that is something that I'm enjoying. Apparently getting leaner and having this knowledge is not as common as I thought it was. So I'm going to think that it is a good decision to continue down this road, because I love training people, man. Because like, if there are any trainers in the chat, like anybody that's in here, name something in the chat. If you're in the chat, what is something that you have done that you find helps other people? And what is your passion? So let me ask you guys in the chat, what is your passion that you're passionate about? What is it that gets you up and says, man, I like that? And now we'll move and shift over to the part of this, we'll shift over to the part of our videos where try to encourage you. We're going to switch to encouragement mode. So in my lives, I have different modes. I have piano mode, I have melodica mode, I have mentor mode, book mode. What is it that gets you guys up? We have JMP, we have Matt Jackson. I have a feeling I know what gets Matt Jackson up in the morning. It's showing up to my chats and putting in. I think that's what gets Matt up. But Chest Devil, JMP, anybody else in the chat, what is it that your passion is in? I'm genuinely curious. And were you ever to take that passion and turn it into a career? Or are you still working on that transition? Because I have found that many people find themselves stuck doing something they hate. And I used to do that. And I'm going to give you some real advice. Y'all put into the chat. I'm going to give you some real good advice. I love singing and art. Very good, JMP. JMP likes singing and art. Okay. Now, how often do you sing or create art? How often would you say in a week? I bought a cycle. Okay, what we got here? I bought a cycle a week ago and can ride only without burning. Ah, okay. So cool. So you're basically got a bicycle and you enjoy some cardio, right? You enjoy taking your bike out. Beautiful. Okay. Now, the question is, how much do you enjoy that activity? And do you enjoy that activity so much that you could do it and monetize and make a business out of it? Because if you can do that, that is what you need to do in life. If you find out what you love right now, start making a business off of what you love. Do it tonight. Make a YouTube, make an email, but what you love to do, start sharing that with people. And you could go to the school community, SKOOL. I have an affiliate link just because I think they're cool. You don't have to use it, but school.com, whatever you love in this world that's shifting, whatever you love, you need to find a way to get a community that shares your interest and your passion will shine through. Big community of people who fall in that category. You do not realize how large this market is, right? There's a huge market of people just dying to learn what you already know, right? So how often are you doing singing and art? Right? See, that's exactly what I'm saying. So the fact that you're not continually to engage in that, I bet your skill is compromised. And then, if that's what you love to do, and what you love to do, you don't have time to do it, how is that going to affect your quality of life? And is that quality of life worth pursuing 20, 30 years from now? Are you going to be happy with a couple new cars to show off to the Joneses? Are you going to be happy with all these things? Maybe you will. But I can tell you, there's a lot more to life than material objects, guys. I learned that when I got to California, me and my ex-wife, we did business, we hustled, we grinded. We had a couple houses. Things didn't work out with divorces and stuff. But I can tell you, everybody that succeeded had a passion for something, and they built a business based on their passion. And then once they had a proof of concept, they found a mentor to scale. That kind of seems to be the cycle of how it works. All right. And shout out to anyone who was willing to watch me do my laundry after my smoothie. You guys rock. All right. Again, there we go. So again, almost 40 years old, road to 10% body fat. Nothing crazy, but I actually have legs too. A lot of my weight's in my legs and back. So 10% body fat is the goal. We're at 15.5 for those who coming into the channel. I made a smoothie earlier, just so you can say I wasn't clickbaiting the title. Here's my smoothie. So here is the smoothie. The road to 10% body fat. Why 10% body fat? Because last time I was that lean, I was 155 pounds in high school. So now I'm 235 at 15.5. So I'm thinking like, it'd be cool to get to 10% body fat and see how aesthetic I can hold that at my age. How many languages can you speak? This is something to consider, JMP. There's people making the school community and turning it into $5,000 to $20,000 a month. It's insane. Hablo un poquito español, ichi nichi some, tagala, lumpia, adobe, what's going on, dui tashimasu gozaimasu, ichi nichi san, uno, dos, tres, li ni san, and yeah. Mostly just English. I pick up on languages pretty quick though. If I'm in an area, I will pick up on the language if I'm in the culture. When I was in Japan for 3 years in the Navy, I picked up the language pretty fast. Road to 10% body fat, guys. Road to 10% body fat. We are making it happen. Chess Devil. Okay, cool. Chris Devil. So, you like riding a bicycle. JMP's an artist in singing. Figure out a way, if you have some talent, to take your singing and your art and put it in a spot where people can see if they like it or not. And if you find yourself in a community of people who are like-minded, you'll be amazed at what business will come out of that. Take your Facebook groups, right? Go into Facebook. Everything that has to do with music or anything that you like, be in all of their posts, every one of their groups, and you start putting all your stuff in there. Hey, what's up, brother? Matthew O'Day, welcome back. Road to 10% body fat. Kind of looking at the lighting in the side, kind of seeing how I'm doing. Remember, a lot of this is I'm eating my carbs at different times, and I'm trying to see if I can manipulate the nutrition going in to keep me lean. I haven't been 10% body fat in a long time, so if I come off arrogant and conceited, sorry. Putting a lot of work into getting to 10%. Literally, I'm dedicating every spare moment. I'm not going out. I'm not going social. I'm not going to bars. I'm not drinking. I'm not smoking. All I'm doing is streaming, working with people, training, and then dedicating myself to this goal. So, for me, I get lean very fast when I implement the dietary protocols. But I've been studying this stuff for a long time. I just never wanted to get really lean because I was more of a performance athlete. Guys, when you get leaner, you're not going to be as strong. You're going to lose strength. So you're a performance athlete, don't do this. But if you're a performance athlete who's getting older and you're like, man, I need a new challenge, maybe try to get it lower the body fat. What's up, brother? Matthew O'Day, welcome back. How was your day, Matthew O'Day? What do you have to say? Are you gay? If so, that's okay. Maybe you're not. Maybe you are. Who really cares? That's kind of bizarre. That is my freestyle. rant, Mr. O'Day. What do you say? Shout out, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed my freestyle. What's the time there? What time is it where you're at, Chess Devil? And then I'll tell you. What time is it where you're at? Laundry! What time is it where you're at? Oh, Reaper's back. Hey, Reaper. What's up, man? Shout out to Reaper, man. You know what? You know what? I told Reaper, Chess Devil, you're on the lookout. But you know what? Congrats to Reaper. Congrats to the Reaper, man. Everybody congratulate Reaper, if you will. Reaper just became a moderator. Standard. Chess Devil, you keep coming into chats and keep going into some of my videos and putting some comments if you want to become a moderator. Anybody who continues to come in my chats, guys, I'm filtering you guys out. If you're blue, you're coming in with other people who are blue, and I'm hand selecting you. So when we decide to shift over to the community, I already know who I've hand selected, just so you know. So I just don't know if it's worth it at this point until I build a base level of clientele. That is essentially the challenge. I don't know how many of you guys from YouTube would actually come over to my community, right? Yeah, you're very welcome. Chess Devil, don't worry. You also, Chess Devil, I see you. Stay patient, keep coming to the chats. JMP came in for a while. Chess Devil's been active, 7:30. It's I'm 2 hours ahead of you. So it's East Coast time right now. EST. So 21:47 military, 9:47 p.m. civilian time. Right. It's my laundry. Backpacks. Silk scarves from all over the world. Each one of them backpacks have gone on a journey with me. And each one of them backpacks in their own way have saved my life. Believe it or not. Got me out of precarious situations, where let me sneak stuff in, hide stuff. Just a good backpack. I love a good backpack with secret compartments. I love them. See, you see this angle right here? It's all right. But watch how this video shifts when I do this. Now, I pop it to here. And now you see how it looks like it's so much more professional. My desk is going now. But you see how this looks so much more professional? It's almost like I have books and stuff. Hello. Hello guys, my desk is going down. This is a button that makes my desk go up and down. Shout out to, there we go. I like to have my lights on. You really? Okay, you ready for it, guys? I'm gonna hit this trend with you. You really know how to make me cry when you give me them ocean eyes. Has anybody seen that trend going on? You really know how to make me cry when you give me those ocean eyes. That is a trend that I saw. I think my ocean eyes may scare somebody. Maybe not. Shout out. What video? Nowadays, you know, I got a question for you guys. I don't play a single video game that I stream, but I see the value in doing a screen share. Now, my question is there a video game that I could stream on YouTube. Haven't seen it? Haven't seen it? Reaper, what does Reaper say? Awesome, thank you. Which video game? I do like to play some poker tournaments from time to time. That's kind of the game I like, is poker. I don't really play any video games, but what's a video game that I could download on my computer, go live, and entertain, and I could do a share screen through YouTube? I have a really hard time using like OBS Studios and all these things. I can never get all the things to work right with my microphone and audio. But when I go into YouTube, I can do a share screen. So if you have a game that's very popular, but the thing is, guys, I don't really play a lot of games and I don't have a lot of spare time. So I was thinking like maybe something like Mobile Legends. I used to play League of Legends and Mobile Legends, right? League of Legends, Arena, Delta Force. See, I would love to get into shooters and stuff, but with my addictive personality and all what I'm doing with like the training and trying to stay lean and in the businesses and stuff, you know, MLBB, Mobile Legends. Yeah, I'm actually, when I played League of Legends 10, 15 years ago when I was younger, I was a pretty decently ranked mage. I was a pretty good mage, kind of like a high destructive mage, and I used to just go around and blow up everybody with my mage powers. It's like, that's all I did. And I just don't know if there's a market for me to go live, download, because there's Mobile Legends and then there's League of Legends. That's about the only game I think I could still hop in, download, and hop right in and kick some butt. Destiny? What is Destiny? Well, my computer over here. I don't know, guys. Are you guys gonna, how old are you guys? Destiny? Oh, this is a 2002 Destiny. See, all these look fun. They look extremely fun. Player count. Destiny 2's player count is now below the course of Osiris era. For you gamers, don't know. What about Mobile Legends? Would it be bad to download Mobile Legends? Do you think Mobile Legends or League of Legends is more popular? Is League of Legends or Mobile Legends more? I guess probably for League of Legends, the really, really good guys are probably on the computer, huh? Yeah, see, I have the mobile, but if I stream from my phone, I can't just like, see, I can't just push a button, I don't think. I can't screen share my phone, right? So I'd have to do it through something like Twitch, right? That's what I'm getting at. So is there a way to download Mobile Legends on a PC and play it that way? Remember, guys, I'm a little bit older. I'm not as good at the technology as probably you guys are, just for what it's worth. I'm not bad at operating systems. Once I see how something works, I'm really good at operating systems, but getting to understand how they work, I always have all these questions, and sometimes I overanalyze some of the simple things and like, oh, it was just that? No, I thought it'd be more complicated than that. Gameplay, League of Legends, I don't know. I think it would be better for me to play piano on stream. JMP, are you here? I screen share from my phone. I have like an iPhone like 14 or 15 or something. Not through YouTube, not when I do the YouTube platform. Tell me where I'm wrong. I don't see an option for me to share my screen from my mobile device. Okay. You know, this is why I asked JMP. That's fair. The iPhones constrict you, the Androids give you more power. I have owned Apple stock for a long time, and I just want to kind of tell you how I think This is how I think as a business and entrepreneur. And if you like the way this thinks, then use this going forward. Because I own Apple stock, why would I not own an Apple phone? Because me owning an iPhone and then owning the stock means every time I pay for my phone, the money's coming back into the stock that I own, and thus I'm able to create a revenue stream with that stock. So I always tell young entrepreneurs, remember, look in my channel and look at the very first videos, and you'll see I had an alias. And I'm still on Google, I think, under it, Investment Coach Chris. If you go into Google, let's do an experiment. And you type in Investment Coach Chris, check it out. Let's see. Oh, I'm still in there. It was, oh, I'm in Bing. Let me get I'm going to see if I'm still in the Bing, the Google search. And I think I need to spell it out. Yeah, they moved a lot of them. But Investment Coach Chris was an alias that I had. And there's another Chris that came up and took the, okay, well. I had a few 100,000 like views on a few videos, closer to like in the millions for some of my investment stuff. But then I switched my channel from investing and I got into business and I got into digital real estate marketing. My channel's gone through phases with the businesses I did. And there's a chance I could change in the future. But what I found is there's two things that there's three things on this channel that really pop off, right? One is me just showing up and having conversations with you guys as a veteran. And some of you guys are entertaining just from engaging with me. Absolutely love that. If it's not that, it's music. People generally like for me to go live and play music. JMP is probably one of those people. And I'm thinking that if I started playing a video game and streaming that, it'll bring some new people in. But really the people that keep coming back are people that want to talk to a veteran. Maybe when I play piano, they enjoy some of my original melodies. And then it's the health and wellness, and it's the accountability, and it's the role modelship. Those are the things that I really want to focus on. And yeah, Reaper, it's like, would downloading this game be good? Or like my JMP over here. JMP always likes my piano. She always asks, are you going to play? Are you going to do this? And I think more people would rather see me live stream and play piano and music. Right. So she even said that. So it's like taking that shift into my channel would be a decision. That would be a big one. Guys, let's see my lights. You like the light? Does it switch? I used to have one that switched. There we go. See that? There we go. Yeah, that's true. However, when I play games, I think I'm kind of entertaining when I play, because I'll be like talking, like I'll be expressing my inner monologue as I play, and I'll be like, you see this guy over here? We're about to knock his head off, man. He don't even see it coming. And then boom, he's dead. I'll be like, I got him. And I'll be like, guys, this is streaming. So when I stream games, I am kind of entertaining. I've done it in the past, but I think the music's where it should be. Music or fitness, man. You see, the thing about me is when I get into games, I usually get competitive, and that drives from other stuff in my life. And just to stress this, I'm not trying to talk shit about myself, but it is insanely a lot of effort to go from 300 pounds like I was down and maintain a lower body fat percentage as I'm still doing business and stuff. It's a little tricky, but one of the benefits of gaming is it lets you sit down and rest and cut everything off. So I do like activities that cause a a rest, because we do need activities that decompress us. So that's kind of what I'm weighing in my psyche as I consider doing that. But I'm going to go with my fan JMP. I have most of my people here would rather have me play piano, engage with them. And I actually enjoy engaging with you guys. I don't know why I do. I don't know why I continue to go live and talk to all you guys. I don't know why I continue to do it. I think I've made very little money off social media than compared to what I've put in for almost a decade. And I could put more effort into it, right? If I was smarter or some things, I guess. But I was curious if, they say 10 years sometimes for something to pop off. At the 10-year mark, my channel started getting more views. And I'll put that there. I'm just curious, are there enough people? People aren't just going to come here just to hear me talk all day. There has to be some value, right? So the mentorship, getting to 10% body fat, opening up an insurance business, all these things are things that I'm doing to show you the amount of work that one individual can do with the right attitude. So don't sell yourself short. Do not let some idiot talk you out of a good idea, and do not let someone else's self-imposed limited belief system penetrate into your psyche and make you think that you are unable to do those things. Because that hater, they may be right. They might not be able to do what you're trying to do, but they are not you. So different people can accomplish different things. And not everybody has the same goal. So cognitive bias, right? Cognitive bias is very alive. Always try to remove cognitive bias. But if you're talking to someone and you want to disarm them, you use cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is changing someone's thought patterns, getting them to agree to small things, and lo and behold, they're entering inside your framework. And people know how to do that, are very easily to manipulate you. So watch out for people like me who can manipulate people. Don't let those people manipulate you. I don't. I persuade people to try to do what's best for them when they can't pick the choice. I give them what I think is their best, but I don't make a decision for somebody, because at the end of the day, I'm not that person. But if you know there's a few choices, you try to push someone in a direction that's best for them based on what you see, but you cannot make that decision for them. They have to make the final decision. Do not make an important decision for someone else in their life. You can lead them there, you can help, you can flourish, but you got to let them make the final decision. You got to let them put the signature on it. Get what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying? You getting what I'm throwing down, fam? Trying to look at my face. Birthday tomorrow. Not bad for almost 40. Not bad. Not bad. What a journey it's been, guys. I never thought when I was younger I'd be sitting here streaming on a channel, talking to people across the world that come to my chats, loving every minute of it. When I came back home after traveling for 15 years, it was very surreal being reintroduced into a culture of people who pretty much, many of them have never left the radius of 1,000 miles from their origin. Some of the people in my family, when I came back from my travels, they had never gone anywhere, gone outside the state. And it's interesting, the more you see the world and you have a wider perspective, it's interesting what people think the world is like that have never left the United States and seen the other parts of the world. It's very interesting to me. Very interesting to me, gentlemen and ladies. Are you... Tomorrow, I am close to 40, yeah? Close to it. Not looking bad, right? Trying to age the best I can. Good food, good nutrition, training, road to 10% body fat, and just sharing with you guys the journey. Sharing with you why you need to believe in yourself. Me, every time I tell you guys to believe in yourself, pursue your goal, I'm literally reliving every decision I've made inside my psyche and going through the decisions of all the people I've seen that made it successful, the people who didn't. And one of the keys is finding your passion and having discipline and consistency, not motivation. Motivation is great for some things, but you need discipline and consistency. The consistent discipline of doing something. That is where it's at. What year was your best year? That's not how I see life. That's a great question, but that's not how I see life. My best year is the one yet to come. I try to say my best year is always the year to come. And I've been doing that my whole life. Any success that I have had has been my ability to think about a goal, put it into the future, focus on that, and, well, thank you. Focus on the goal and getting to that goal, right? What you got? Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, and you gotta remember, I grew up with a lot of trauma. Like, I had a 15-year-old mother. I was a baby that was supposed to be aborted. Doctor found out last minute, and it was like, I had a lot of trauma in life. So, looking back at my past, if I focus on that, there's a lot of traumatic events and deaths, and not to get to I don't want this channel to go to that route, but it wasn't it was not a nuclear family. It was pretty much a guy who was an accident and was supposed to get aborted, and then, like, doctor found out last minute, hey, you're too young. My mom was 15, and I don't blame her because I couldn't raise a kid that young. But, like, when you think about that in my psyche, I know that's true. And there's a lot of things. I'm going to Afghanistan, going to war. I'm, like, kind of OCD. I'm kind of eccentric. I like art. Just because I'm, like, kind of large. Like, I'm a pretty big, strong guy. Right? Before I started cutting. Now I'm lean and looking good, but weak. But focusing on the present is the most important thing, and then preparing for future events that are subject to change based on schedule. You don't want to focus too much on the past, because when you focus on the past, that's when you're depressed. And if you want to remain depressed, stay on the past. Doesn't mean you can't learn from the past, but focusing on the past is going to keep you depressed. That's where most people that can't stay in the present, I find some of my subordinates who I mentor, when I tell them, think about this. Think about if you're depressed and how much of the past you're thinking about. There's a correlation. Now you have the people with anxiety. Hasn't happened yet. The future. The people who are so worried about the future fall into anxiety. Anxious. And that's kind of how the brain is supposed to work. There's defense mechanisms, there's preparatory mechanisms. Now, What happens if you remain in the present? If the future is anxious and the past is depression, then the present is where it's at. And shifting your mindset to the present is the best thing you can do. Focus on the task at hand. But getting back to the original question from Chess Devil, the best year is the year that I haven't had. It's the one to come. I'm going to prepare for my next year, my best year. And I think that's the way to tackle life. That's the way to tackle life. Your best year is yet to come. You're always preparing. You reach one mountaintop, that becomes the valley for the next one. The valley for the next one. Now, I don't know what my best year or anything is, but I can tell you things I've learned along the way. Life is short. Family and love, very important. When you have a decision to make, even if it's going to hurt you, making the decision that tells the truth is probably the best overall outcome for everybody, unless you're involved in something bad, right? So don't remain silent. Speak your mind, but be careful where you choose to speak your mind. If you speak your mind in front of the wrong people, that can be very detrimental. So you have to hold on to your identity. Sometimes you have to conform. You want to have the ability to be yourself or hide yourself. And what I mean by this, sometimes you need to let your own personal opinions and how you feel about things separate from who you are, and don't fall too subject to your emotions. Because if you're too subjective to your emotions and you can't use logic, you're not really going to like where you end up in life. Emotion is chaos, 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 chaos. There's no order, you know. So these are the things I've learned. I think nutrition is very underestimated. ¿Cómo estás? What's up, goat? The Italian goat. Buenos noches. Tiempo para bed y tengo mucho gym y trying to get to the 10% body fat. Don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say body fat in Espanol. ¿Cómo se dice 10% body fat in Espanol? That's my goal. Anyways, here's another thing I'll tell you. If you want something to happen, the ability to focus, that reminds me of this picture. I want to show you this picture. Let me see if I can bring this up. It's in my phone. Let's see here. I saw this the other day. This. Does it read it good? The human brain uses 12 watts to think, right? 12 watts. The same job that an AI computer would need is 2.7 billion watts. So, listen guys, your brain in 12 watts can do what AI is trying to do, but it requires 2.7 billion. Do not, you see this brain? Do not let the focus be underestimated. Do not underestimate the ability to focus in on a goal and remain consistent. The brain is amazing at that. We have just lost our ability to focus. And this is me in the gym, 10%, or that's the goal. We're at 15.5. Just for some of those who care. That was taking, I took that picture yesterday. Traveled yesterday. Shoulders are wide. Feel like the forearms and the arms look aight. But I'm trying to turn into a triangle. An upside down triangle is my goal at 10% body fat. So that is where we're sitting at. So, not bad. Not bad. But we will get to 10%. And getting to 10% body fat is a little tricky for me. I want to get to 10% body fat and not suffer. I want to feel okay, right? I think I can eat and feel pretty productive at 10%. I think I've manipulated my nutrition to do so. Keep in mind, I was 300 pounds at one point. You know what that means? I've come down like 80 pounds and had to reset my calories, my body fat percentage. I literally stripped all that off, right? Was a power lifter and a strongman. But now I'm smaller and leaner. But in this photo, a lot of people are saying it's not a bad photo. It's not super pumped up, not super carved up. That's just me in the gym working on slowly getting leaner, bringing out the details in the physique. That is the goal. So, shout out. I like that picture. It's not bad. Here we go. There's one right there. There's me right there. For those who care, that is me today. So today earlier we were in the gym. Because I'm in a calorie deficit and I'm stripping down to 10% body fat, I'm just kind of like, okay. I'm resting, I'm doing cardio, I'm doing strength training. The whole entire program is going well. It's just, it's never fun to just strip body fat. That's why. Anyways, there we go. That's me on Google, Chris Whitehead Poker. I'm not allowed to stream those games anymore. The algorithm doesn't like it. They say it's like gambling. I don't know. I don't think. Poker has a gambling taboo, and I guess it kind of is, but there's a lot of decisions that you control in that game. Yes, there's variance, but whatever. Jordan Peterson had this earlier. Whatever happens, telling the truth is the best case scenario, right? Shout out to Jordan Peterson. All right, here's a few videos I've done, guys. A few of the videos I've been putting out. Right, here's a little bit. This one I made. I didn't really make it, but I kind of recorded it and did like a voiceover. Guys, one of the things I've been doing more often is doing a voiceover. So I'll take like a video and do a voiceover. So if you guys actually enjoy the voiceovers that I'm doing, let me know, because I try to make them, you know, somewhat entertaining. God, I'm so blessed. A lot of work, but very blessed. That reminds me of my next thing, guys. Be grateful. Be grateful, guys. If there's one thing, I was going on a list of things because I'm reflecting at turning almost, basically getting ready to turn 40 soon, like tomorrow. And, yeah, I guess one of the things I've found is that if you create a framework in your mind, right? If you create a framework in your mind, if you create the right framework in your mind, you'll be kind of amazed at what can happen from that. Do not underestimate your brain, guys. Don't do it. Do not underestimate your brain and your ability to focus. By the way, somebody told me the other day I had green eyes. I don't know if I have green eyes or hazel, but somebody said I had green eyes the other day. I always thought I had hazel brown eyes. My eyes get really bright and green when I'm in the sun. They like shimmer. Anybody else do that? Reflections turning close to 40. For all you younger people out there, and I mean this, it doesn't really get easier. It continues to get harder, but then you become stronger. So focusing on your goals helps. Do not let other people influence you too much. Yeah. But guys, we were on for like 100 minutes. I was only going to do a half an hour. And now there's a couple more people in here. But I want you guys to realize that I'm doing an experiment on the side to become monetized. Just because I'm about halfway monetized. And if you guys want to join that journey and help get leaner, do me a favor. If you generally want to get leaner, when you go into your YouTube, start posting pictures or on IG, tag me. Start tagging me all your photos of what you're eating, what you're getting leaner, what you're doing. Just start tagging all your photos, and from time to time, maybe I'll go in and be like, hey, da 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 da, and try to give you some tips. Right now, I am a professional trainer and I don't work for free, but in order for you guys to keep coming to the stream, I'll give you little bits and tips in order to, get some value. There's a lot of value in understanding how nutrition works in the body, especially if you want to get more aesthetic. I have kind of like this autoimmune thing. I got bit by a tick when I was really younger. So this little autoimmune causes when I eat certain things, it's like I feel different when I eat certain foods. So I've been documenting nutrition on myself for almost 2 decades. And what I have discovered has completely changed my ideas of nutrition, like what we put in our body, from starches to saccharides, like everything that we put in our body, the chemicals, the performance, our brain power, your libido, everything that you do is basically, so much of it is based on your nutrition, right? And I recently learned earlier, like even these lines and stuff, I never had a good skincare routine, but because I'm getting more into getting leaner, what I've noticed is using lotions and Jergens and trying to get a little bit firmer in skin, it actually makes you look more aesthetic, for what it's worth. I didn't really know that, but I'm figuring it out now. Anyways, guys, you like the scarves over here? There's some stuff over there. I don't know if I ever showed that. Some cool stuff over there. Can I zoom in on that? Those are keys. That's my master certificate as a ISSA certified master trainer. What we got? Cards, albums, and musics from local bands that I went to see. What the heck? Oh, there we go. There we go. Sometimes I'm retarded. You see this right here? That's a key. That's a key to an old house. That's my marker board. Signed albums. There you go. Anyways. Guys. I hate yawning on camera, guys. I'm getting tired. Shout out to the office over here. Laying down is not gonna make it easier for me to. Laying down is not gonna make me want to stay up. Anyways, road to 10% body fat, guys. Road to 10% body fat. Why 10% body fat? It's a challenge, man. Find stuff. I don't know if this is true for women. Don't know. JMP's in here. JMP, don't do that to yourself. I love you to death that you're in my chats, but do not be staying up all night and compromising your sleep. Get some sleep. And I'm a hypocrite because it's almost 10:30 and I'm doing YouTube streams. So I get it. Ask the question. What's the question? Ask the question. Oh man, I just had a brain fart. What was the question? What was the question? Put me back on track, JMP. What was I going to ask? I was going to ask. Long days, low calories, cutting. Apparently my brain's not functioning. Yeah, I was about to say something. I was. Oh, for men and women. I don't know if this is the same for women as it is men, but just to get an insight on the psyche of men. I think men perform best when they force themselves to have to challenge something difficult. I found in different phases of my life, right? If I was ever having like an off year or a downswing in poker back in the day, or just couldn't get to a plateau when I was in the gym, whenever I force myself to go through adversity, the effect, like men tend to respond to adversity well. And maybe that's true for women too, but I actually think the testosterone levels in men are more optimal from people who force themselves to do things that they don't want to do, like get in a sauna, right, that's hot, or a cold plunge. There's not to say that it has to be that, but it's the the process of you doing something hard has an effect on the body of a man. It does. Oh, snap. Yeah, Reaper. There you go. There you go. That's cool. That's cool. That's what's up, Reaper. Yeah, that's what I found, though. Um, I find men, young men, old men, normal men, eccentric men, nothing's more destructive than an idle mind with no goal. If you have all, like, if you're just sitting around and you're not pursuing a goal, you're probably going to be tempted to indulge in something. You're either going to indulge in something. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is, JMP. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I think most women, most of the time, don't handle the adversity as well. Now, there are exceptions. I know some women who are great business leaders and stuff, and I've worked for some officers in the Navy. There's always exceptions to the rule. But I do think a lot of times, and I guess it could be based on culture, I think a lot of times, like in the States, the gender roles are, I want to say this without like offending anyone. I think gender roles from a natural perspective, like just animals in general, there's something to do with men and women and having basic roles with mutual respect, obviously. I'm not saying like a man has to work and a woman stays home and raises the kids, but what I am saying is the woman who stays home and raises those kids and does that, you see how they age and how their family spends with them versus two independent parents who have a really good career bringing in money but paying the babysitter. It's like those two outcomes are extremely different in how that person develops. And I'm not sure if we fully understand. The more the nuclear family has separated, right, it seems like the more autism and the more problems that came to be coming out of this ideology. So either the ideology itself is flawed, or the process and application needs reevaluation for more efficient execution, essentially. So it's either broken or it's not being executed properly. And either one of those, if it doesn't get fixed, and it needs to be destroyed and then reassessed back to the chalkboard with new more improvised, strategic, effective planning. I don't know if that was a coherent. I don't know if that was a coherent sentence or a run-on sentence. Just so you know, Mark Twain wrote in a lot of run-on sentences too. Big fan of him. Shout out to a end of the night quote. A man has two lives. Right? A man, could be a woman, has two lives. Right? Once he's born, and then once he realizes he's only got one life, then he really starts living. So you try to put your frame in, maybe life isn't even, like, what do we even know about life? What do we know about consciousness? Like, what do we really know about consciousness? Do we really know anything in this universe? The older I get, I can conform my thought patterns to make me feel at peace. But because I'm born on the same day as Friedrich Nietzsche, me and Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher, he was born October 15th, 1984. Right? Friedrich Nietzsche. We share the same birthday. And sometimes I think we share the same thoughts as well. Because I, too, think some of his observations are damn near brilliant. God, Friedrich Nietzsche. And not everything he wrote was perfect, but if you want to question your own morals and ethics and how you see the world, and I'm telling you, don't do it. Shout out if you've ever had an existential crisis or what the age was. I had my first existential crisis in elementary school. I went to school and I just woke up one day and realized none of this is real. And I don't know. So I've been having these thoughts for like a while in these concepts. So do not think about things that put you into an existential crisis or makes you question your moral framework unless you're strong enough mentally to handle that, because that can break you. That can break you. If your mind can't handle a new truth of information and that conflicts with your current existence, it may be better for you to be sheltered. It may be. Ignorance is bliss, guys. The happiest people I know are typically the most ignorant, and they have the best laughs. I wish I could be that ignorant. I wish I could not look at things and be like that, you know. But ignorance a lot of times is bliss, guys. So the more that you learn, knowledge has a price. The more that you learn and really see what's going on, you may not like where those roads end, right? Coming from a Navy veteran who served for a decade. I'm going to leave it at that. And here's a question for the chat. Oh, I shouldn't say that because legally I can't say that without risking my channel to be taken down. So I'm not going to say that. But this is what I will say. There's a Roman circus example going on right now in the world. Look over here. Pay attention. But what's really going on, this cup is over here. The Roman circus is here. Everyone's going to the game. Everybody's paying attention. Teachers are getting paid shit, but athletes are getting paid more. This is more. This is more. This is more. Money, 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 money. Moral, ethical compass. All the elites, they're over here. You don't even see them. They're out of your framework. All of us exist in this world, and they are over here setting all the settings for us. It is what it is. How do you defeat it? Build a business, stay passionate, and continue to learn. And you will be rewarded. Be useful, be purposeful. If something's going on around you and you can be the person that can fix it, do it. A lot of times, you either want to be two people. You either want to be the person that nobody knows exists, and if they don't know you exist, then they're not watching you. So then you can do things with no one knowing you exist. Or you want to be known as someone who can solve the problem. You either want to be known as someone who can solve the problem, or you don't exist, and then you can just kind of float through. Take it from someone who's extroverted. The 48 Laws of Power is a great book. And in the 48 Laws of Power, it says, never outshine your master. I already made that mistake. When I was younger, I outshined the CEO of a company. And the CEO of the company ostracized me on the sales floor, right? And it was because I made a simple little joke. Was it inappropriate? I wouldn't say it was inappropriate, but it did make me look good and them look bad. And once the CEO found out, he was on my ass. Because certain people who get in positions of power are so competitive, you have no idea what they're willing to do to not let you take their role in their livelihood. So you have to be careful for that, especially in a corporate environment. Hence why I left the corporate environment to pursue the most important job in the world, which is essentially an entrepreneur who teaches people how to feel better. I'm a trainer, right? But more than anything, I'm a therapist. People open up to me because I'm a veteran, fought in war, 52 medals, slightly like Asperger's, high IQ, extroverted, amnivert, eclectic, eccentric. Because I'm one of those people who've traveled and seen a lot of things, a lot of people open up to me at different age groups. And I don't really judge them. I think the reason people open up is because I don't judge them. I use empathy to understand what they're saying and put myself in their shoes and try to relive their situations and feel what they felt and try to bear some of their pain. If you have the ability to do that, you will be very well. in sales that require not high volume. Like you want to continue to sell, but you want to emotionally connect with key people in your life and use them to network, and they will prepare you into the next level of your existence, whatever you're pursuing. She says they think it's the same for women. Maybe it is. I don't know. Sometimes I think femininity needs to be protected and masculinity needs to be strong. Sometimes. Anyways. Got mine right here. What's the trend going on right now? There's a trend on the internet. Guys, road to 10% body fat. What's the trend? They go, ta, you really know how to make me smile. Do 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 do. When you turn it, do do do. What is it? You really know how to make me smile. You really know how to make me cry when you give me those ocean eyes. Let's see, I think it's like that. It's just I'm not a beautiful, heavily endowed woman with beautiful eyes, so I do not think it's going to be quite as effective. They really. Da 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 do do do. Anyways, guys, road to 10% body fat. Road to 10% body fat. It's gonna happen, guys. The only problem is because I'm natural, I'm not ever gonna be able to hold as much muscle as some of these other guys who use testosterone. Because essentially, when you start stripping down your body fat, your hormones are affected. And for those of you who don't know, a lot of competitors, I am not a competitor. I am a natural trainer who's just getting lean. But a lot of the competitors, when they get below, I'm only going to 10%, but when they get subpar, below 10%, they start using testosterone to supplement because of their low body fat. So you can only get so lean before it becomes like bad. But you'll be surprised, like 10%, yeah, you can get to 10%. You can hold 10% pretty good, most people can. Yeah. Alright guys, now it is that time of the night where I get butt naked. I'm just kidding. Somebody asked me the other day, like, do you do OnlyFans? It's like, what? No, I've done 1,300 videos. Why would you even suggest that? Crazy. Anyways, guys, nobody cares. Work harder. There's some books. Favorite coach and entrepreneur. If you want to watch me get down to 10% body fat, hopefully we can do it. The goal is maybe 2 months. Do it nice and slowly. Don't lose weight too fast. Losing weight really fast is not a good idea. Anyways, guys, we're going to end the chat. Have a good night. God bless. We'll see you next time. Like, comment, share.